Welcome to the summer solstice video where there is a beautiful momentum going on because astrology is really based on the seasons of the year. And so when the sun hits 0 degrees of the crab, as we're talking about today, it means that we embark on the summer season, right? And it means that it is the longest day, the longest moment of light, where it is longer than the dark, right, or the night. So this is a very important moment for astrology. It's an important moment for mystical people, for the occult. It's a momentum energetically that you could really tap into and be of benefit for whatever you're doing in your life. So you can think about where you would like to have more light in your life, where you would like to have more energy in your life, more surge of positivity and optimism, because it's the summer energy. Of course, a clue to where this is really, really important for you is where 0 degrees of crab is in your chart, because this is where the area, the house, is really brought to life and really expanded by all that light. And especially if it's one of the darker houses in astrology, meaning the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th, if that's where 0 degrees of the crab is at for you, then this is really, there's suddenly lightness in the dark, and it can make you feel much more lighter than usual. And it's an opportunity to enhance the skills, the knowledge, the insight that house provides for you. And it's a moment of true alchemy where you can flip the darkness, or perhaps the more, raw, rough, more difficult parts of that house, and really alchemize it into that light, into that lightness, into ease, into revelations, realizations, and being able to let it burn away just like the sun can do. And so you can really alchemize and perhaps experience this, this phoenix moment rising from your ashes. So this is a wonderful opportunity to use. When is this? This is June 21st, occurring at 3:07 GMT in the night. So anywhere at June 21st, you can use this energy. You can use it by creating a vision board for yourself, intentions, writing down your intentions, planting them in the soil, which is so, or putting it into the sunlight. You can charge water with the sunlight and really enhance the yang energy in your life. You could use fire to burn away what you would like to, cut cords with. There's so many things you can do. You can use more of the occult things, such as tarot, to have more insights into what's going on. But it's definitely manifestational energy where you can use this creational power to put more fuel into a certain area of your life, and that's your choice. You can use the house where 0 degrees of crab falls in as a great inspiration of where you would like more energy, more upliftment, more lightness. Or you can, choose yourself. Is it something you want to undertake, an entrepreneurial shift? Would you like to enhance your money-making skills, or more love, or even more homeness, because it is at 0 degrees of the crab, so undeniably it's related to the crab energy. So this is where you could also manifest new housing, manifest where you feel at home, more love, more nurturing in your life. If you want a child or create a family in some sort of way, this is a wonderful opportunity for that as well. Just creating more warmth and feel goodness in your life. So the summer solstice occurs at 0 degrees of the crab. That is a fixed point, at least for now. So it means that you look at the chart for June 21st, where the sun enters at 0 degrees of the crab, and that is the birth chart for the coming 3 months energetically until we hit the autumn equinox, and then you have another birth chart for the coming 3 months. So I wanted to look into this one. I was really pulled. I don't do these often, but I think this is a very relevant one, not only because it ties into Jupiter just entering the crab sign that occurs June 9th. That's when Jupiter is at 0 degrees of this summer solstice point, so you might really feel it from June 9th as well. Jupiter being here means, you know, the focus, the joy, the expansiveness, the blessings, the prosperity and abundance is in the crab sign, okay? And I think that's why this summer solstice, this one particularly this year, is so important. It's because Jupiter has a 12-year cycle. So Jupiter is only the crab, you know, every 12 years. And so that's probably why I was pulled to this summer solstice chart, because this is a really relevant one for us. And of course, it's not only just where Jupiter entered into the crab, it's also, you know, the coming in 2 weeks' time, Uranus is going to enter Gemini, which is a huge transformation of energy, huge change and shift in paradigms and in reality, in thoughts, in innovation. So we're really going to feel that one, but we're already in so much change, you know. Saturn is at the beginning of Aries, Uranus is at the beginning of Aries, and it's really working with this summer solstice highly, strongly, and of course I'm going to explain that. But so this is a very important summer solstice. So if you're into energy work, if you're into astrology, if you're into, you know, the magic and mystical side of life, this is an opportunity to not miss and really understand. So of course we look at the chart, and immediately, like I said, the sun is at 0 degrees of the crab, Jupiter's at 2 degrees of the crab, so they're, you know, almost getting into a conjunction, and we're already feeling that very strongly. It means when these two come together, the sun and Jupiter, it is most auspicious time in astrology. It's a once in a year transit, and it means that, you know, there's luck, blessings, abundance to the quadruple, you know, quantum biggest level of energetic blessings that you can have. So it's a once in a year opportunity, and it's only once in 12 years that this occurs in the crab. So, and it's relevant because Jupiter is the most comfortable and, you know, biggest expansional energy in the crab. So other than of course Sag, where it's really at home. But so this is a very auspicious moment, and being the summer solstice, this is big time manifestational creational energy. So you know, you have the universe at your side backing you up. What do you want to enhance in your life? What do you want blessings for? This is a wonderful time to pray as well. You know, have prayer in your heart for whatever you want, but also keep in mind the bigger picture of, very cliche, but peace on earth, and just putting the intention out to basically create more love in this reality on earth, and but definitely for yourself, right? That warmth, that joy, that nourishment, that fulfillment feeling. And this is so healing, so soothing to the soul, to the heart. This exact conjunction will take place June 24th. At approximately 3 degrees of the crab. So, you know, that's like 3 days after the summer solstice. So that's really, really relevant. And then the day after 24th, when they are completely together, we have the new moon in the crab at 4 degrees. So June 21st until June 25th is a very fruitful, very enjoyable time. This is heightened summer vibes, good vibes. So tap into that and use it for your advantage. Sun and Jupiter are making a couple of aspects, of course. So this is how the energy is more detailed. So what are we working with here? Not only is there a square to Saturn and Neptune, this is very relevant, but there are also two yods in the chart. There is also a talent triangle with the Sun and Jupiter. So there's a lot going on. Let's look first at the talent triangle. Why? Because when you look at a birth chart, other than the sun, it's very relevant to look at the moon, right? And the moon is so interesting at 0 degrees of Taurus. So the moon just entered that sign as the sun is entering just the crab, right? It means that they are sextiling, so they are harmonically working together. And it's adding to the fruitfulness and the blessings and the lushness of this summer solstice energy. The moon in the crab is also exalted, just like Jupiter's exalted in the crab. So very comfortable. The moon loves to be here. It's all about nourishment, good food, wonderful dinners, walks in nature, good quality shopping, wonderful, beautiful, high quality stuff around you, good textures, dressing up nicely. It's such a good vibes energy, honestly. But other than a good feeling, which I mean is very relevant though, right? So it's coming 3 months, remember? So this is the energy that's in the background of everything. So it's a promise of a really nice summertime. And isn't that great? We all deserve to charge up on our energies, to really enjoy this time that nature gives us, okay? So if you're aligned with all that is, with the energies, with the seasons, with nature, then you ought to feel much better than you have maybe in a very, very long time, okay? I've been into astrology for a couple of years and I've not seen this good of a chart for a long time. So I think it's pretty important to align yourself with this. So the promise of feeling good, the opportunity to really plant something in this fruitful soil, right? So it's so ready to plant something for the long run. And it's all about feeling good, okay? So that's your measurement. And really using that as a navigational tool, okay? Trust your gut feeling, trust your intuition, trust what feels so good to you. And you're like, all right, this is it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it any longer or diminish it. This is what I want, right? This is essential and this feels so good. I'm gonna do it, right? That's the kind of energy. Set the intentions, go after it, make it happen, and just make sure it's just feeling good. It's very almost hedonistic, but this is just I feel an innocent way of feeling good because it's the crab and it's Taurus, it's the beginning of the zodiac. So there are not a lot of manipulations going on. This is really just basic, like a child, right? What does a child want to do? It's like, I want to go to the playground because I don't know, that's what my heart is telling me. And then you go. That's the kind of energy. It's almost instinctual. Just follow your joy. It's not, the sun and Jupiter is not just sextiling the moon in Taurus at 0 degrees. So important. It's also sextiling Mars, who's at 2 degrees of Virgo. And this is very interesting. First of all, Mars has been in the Crab and Leo for gazillion of months since last autumn of 2024. So it's the first time it's out of these signs where Mars was in for such a long time. And it doesn't like to be in a place for a long time, right? Mars is fast movement. Mars wants to do, go out, go get something, make it happen, you know? And in Virgo, it's kind of okay. It's kind of comfortable. Virgo is very detailed, organized. It's all about efficiency, right? Yeah, making it happen. It's what Mars maybe isn't used to is that it's caring, right? It's about service. So looking after people or animals, or it's about health, nutrition, a good body, taking care of your body. That's all good for Mars as well. So here we have another point, and this is of course why it's a talent triangle, where the fruitfulness is enhanced. This is where, we're thinking about effort, we're thinking about work, we're thinking about also, bringing back, giving back to others as well, and just all all encompassing wholeness. Okay, like good nutrition, good health, wellness for yourself, for your goals, but also other people. And so Mars in Virgo is also trining the moon in Taurus. So this is what makes it a talent triangle. Two sextiles, one trine. So very harmonical energy. And this is so good. This enhances all that good vibes, summer vibe energy for the coming 3 months. Really use it to also do something, right? Start something and plant your seeds well. What is it that you want? Because this is ultimate um, energy that you could really be of benefit for you and your goals. Um, so that is very positive, of course. Now, let's look at the square. So Jupiter has been squaring with Saturn exact June 15th, 6 days prior to this summer solstice. It was exact at 1 degrees of, Jupiter being 1 degrees of the Crab, and then Saturn being 1 degrees of Aries. So it was a cardinal square, and I've talked about this a lot. This was the third square between Jupiter and Saturn that started in August 2024. So we've been in this energy for a good 10 months of them to, fighting it off. Like, what way will it be? I mean, I think it was like that for a long time, even though this is cardinal, and this is all about which way, which direction, which navigational aspect, which side, which north, which south, which east are we going to take. But even though it was like going, toughening it out in two different ways of doing or being or goals or behavior, um, even though that was a part of the energy, it was more that oddly it is creating space. Now, Saturn is about the material life, so anything tangible, realistic, about your life. This is success, this is ambition, this is, the certificates, the diplomas, the accolades, the awards, being seen in public, being recognized for what you're doing and applauded for it. That is kind of the Saturn energy in a way, 10th house in astrology. Jupiter is the house before that, ninth house. And this is about, enhancing your wisdom, your knowledge, educating yourself, but also, you know, becoming more worldly, traveling, or just knowing more about cultures and the differences, the diversity that's around us. And you know, it's bringing meaning into life, so asking bigger questions, looking at the higher perspective of things, which includes religion and belief, right? You know, it's in astrology, the ninth and the 10th house, and then Jupiter and Saturn seem like a clash of energies, seem like they're very different, because energetically Jupiter is about making something bigger, right? Widening, expanding, abundance, right? Flow, lots of it. Whereas Saturn is like focus, you know, making something smaller, restricting the energy and creating boundaries, and more, it wants more clarity and focus and devotion of you, because it wants to complete, to realize, to for you to take the responsibility to make something happen, right? And not just something, but something that actually lasts a very long time. You know, Saturn is about the foundation, the heaviness, the density of something, whereas Jupiter is, you know, fluffy, air, big, um, untangible in a way. And then Saturn's a tangible. So you can see the clash of energies. But the way I've described it, and I stand by it, is that it is a birthing energy, which is, you know, the contractional energy and then the widening energy that occurs during childbirth, right? And this is because it's the last square that, you know, we're moving out of by this summer solstice, but technically still the energy lingers. And it means that something is born. And truly, with the summer solstice, where there's a burst of energy, where there's a start of the summer of light, of intensity of light, and the daylight, right? Winning of the night and the dark. So the light wins and supersedes the other parts. So clearly we've moved out of the tensional aspect, and something is born, and you're invited now to really make the birth solid, like, you know, cradle whatever is being born, nourish and nurture that thing, that new aspect of you, the healed version of you, the loving version of you, the full and fulfilled version of you, the satisfied version of you that can attract in more of those fuller, fulfilled, and more satisfying experiences, right? This is like enrichment, you know, richening, maturing, really, maturing in your desires, wants, and wishes as well. So you can look in your chart again, where is 1 degrees of Aries, where is 1 degrees of the crab, because this is where something is born. In those two houses, something is born. And I think, you know, if you're expanded in your awareness, something is born in both houses, okay? This is how you should think. And, not or. You can, but that's limiting. Okay, that's up to you, which perspective, which awareness point you're at. It can be and, or, right? Restricting or multiplying. So it can be in both houses, if that's what you're ready for. Or it's one of those two houses where something's being born. So at the 1 degree Aries or 1 degrees of crab. So that's also part of the intention that you're using during this summer solstice. Okay. at this point in the summer solstice, because we've moved on from the exact square June 15th, Jupiter is now at 2 degrees, and it's really squaring tightly with Neptune as well. Of course, Neptune is with Saturn. So this is a very important square, okay? But of course now Jupiter is met with the Sun, and the luck is on that side, really. The big, huge burst now currently is at that side, okay, for the coming 3 months. But of course, still very important that Saturn and Neptune. And Jupiter is squaring particularly the Neptune. Now, interestingly, they both rule over Pisces in a way, right? So this is all about imagination, creation with the divine, the highest source. This is co-creating with life. This is imagining the impossible and to create it, to make the impossible possible, okay? The square was difficult for a very long time, but it's also creational energy. It's a demand for your attention, for your focus, something that Saturn loves, right? So I think how you really bring them together, because ultimately Saturn is about devotion and really adds to the Jupiter part, because it gives us the tools and the determination to stick to it, to make it happen, right? To accomplish, to achieve, to materialize whatever it is that you're going after, or whatever is in your soul's mission on this earth, right? So there's a lot of playing with the unseen and the sort of impossible, because it's unseen. We don't really know how it works. We don't maybe even know what we're working with, because it's not tangible. It's very mystical. But you're working with the divine, the source, God, if you will. So imagine, okay? Hold the vision in your everything, your mind, your subconscious. Hold the vision, pray about it, ask for support from the divine, from your angels. Hold it in your mind's eye before you fall asleep. Sleep messages or sleeping is quite an important part of the creational energy, interestingly. And it's really holding the faith, the belief that everything that you want is within reach right now. There's a huge momentum, obviously, with the summer solstice. This is why I'm doing this video, okay? So that's very, very important. There's also 2 yachts that I want to mention. One is with this Sun and Jupiter. Remember, they were in a sextile with Mars in Virgo, but this is making both of them are quincunxing 150 degrees angle to Pluto, who's retrograde in Aquarius. So this yacht, there's a divine element with the summer solstice in relationship to the Pluto energy. It's an odd energy, right? The quincunx is a call for integration of all these energies. Now, the sextile to Mars is an easy integration, right? So thinking about your new goals, thinking about how you are going to get there. This is making a plan. You've got your A game on, okay? You know how to strategize. You know what to do. It's a to-do list, and really, marking off every little bit. You're doing the work. You're bringing in the effort. You're ready, okay? You're determined, and you're thinking about your well-being and those of others, of how you can be of service with your goals. Now, Pluto in Aquarius takes this to the ultimate max, service for all humanity, right? This is for the greater good of everyone involved on Earth. So not only that, not only serving and being of, value to humanity, but also doing that in the most unique and authentic way that you are. That is power. The authenticity is the secret sauce to success. Doesn't that sound good? Let me say that again. Your authenticity is the secret sauce to success. Isn't that delicious? Okay, so there is a divine element to the Pluto. This is where we need to embrace who we are, and that is our superpower. We are empowering through our thoughts, our insights, our concepts, and also our actions. We are innovating who we are. We're innovating our intelligence. This is quantum leaping to the max, okay? This is understanding that everything is energy, and then now how are you going to live your life? Knowing that you're more than just this incarnation, just this body, just this name and identity. You are a soul. And when you leave this earth, you want to leave a legacy, but you also want to be of value to, you want your life to be of value for Earth, for the greater good, right? This is part of why everything's done. I mean, the collective energy, the universal, the divine energy is done with the consummation, the consuming energy that was prevalent on Earth, okay? Constantly consume, 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 use, right? Until things are depleted and rotten and diminished. You know, energy works like micro is macro, macro is micro, right? So everything is interrelated, interconnected energetically. It means that if you deplete the resources on Earth, not just deplete, but just overuse. I don't think it's depleted, but it's just abusing, right? Because you're overusing more than is necessary, right, for your life. So what happens is that you do that not just because you drive your car too much or you buy too much. Not just that, because energy is interrelated, interconnected, you're likely also doing that to the people around you. And you're likely also depleting, you know, relationships in your family, maybe a partner or your children or whatever, right? It's time for us to understand how energy works and how the time is up for consuming, overusing, and abusing. The time is to move from consuming, overusing into creation and legacy, to be of service, to add, not to extract, right? So what are you bringing in, not taking out? That's kind of the energy. So what are you now ready to bring into this world? That's what you need to focus on, not just your own interests and whatever you want in your own life, right? It's time to link that to all there is. No longer is it enough for you to just be fulfilled in your own life. You have to be of service for others, for the people around you, for animals, for nature, for the greater good. This is the responsibility we all have. This is the responsibility of knowing more, because thanks to the internet and, education and all that, we know more than, well, a very long time. But this comes with responsibility. Okay, the universe is leveling up. This is all why there's so much changing astrologically, at the first half of 2025, and we're almost at the end of that first half. So major energetic changes have occurred. Major energetic upgrades are within reach, are here right now. And so this requires a lot of responsibility. And that is, that's going on here as well. So yes, we are leveling up. Yes, timelines have evolved. Timelines have collapsed. The old is no more. You're upgraded energetically, but now you have to behave in that way as well. You have to think at that level as well. You have to evolve yourself in every part of who you are. It sounds complex and like it's too much or out of reach, or like, whoa, am I even evolved that much? But it's weird that it's not out there. It's not something, you don't even need to read a book for this, because it's about you. It's about you anchoring more and more into who you really are. It's like a purification, right? And let that sun, that summer solstice energy, burn away all that you are not, so that you come to the core, the essence, the soul, like the sun, soul, sola, solar, it's soul energy. So you come to the most natural version that you are, the authentic, the real, the pure. That's who you are. That's all you need to be. That's it. That's what you need to give to this world. And from that comes, I think, a lot of creational power. Because when you are more truly who you are and understanding everything and honoring that, that's when we all thrive. That's true success. The other yod is between Saturn and Neptune in Aries, this time sextiling this Pluto. So this is all about the individual journey, the independence, the self that is being upgraded, like I said. So the identity that we are, the goals that we have are so elevated, right? This is the highest expression of who you can be. And then this is making an odd relationship, the yod, to Mars in Virgo. Notice how both these yods are working with Mars and Pluto, right? That's so interesting. So it's all about power and goals and empowerment. And this second yod is saying that there is divine purpose to this Mars in Virgo. Now, Virgo is about the purity, right? Is about wholeness, the holistic approach. This is herbalism, natural, nature, getting in tune with that natural pulse, purifying your goals, your body, and your relationship with your environment is what's going on here. And you can clearly see the energetic connections, right? So that's really basically the summer solstice energy. Other than that, I want to add that in the background, we have the North Node in Pisces at 22 degrees, and therefore the South Node on the opposite side in Virgo. And it's making a wonderful, this is an opposition, right? So a tug of war between two directions. But then we have Mercury, our planet of our mind, our thoughts, our words, our communication, our mobility, how we move around in this world, but potentially also our family, um, you know, siblings and aunts and all that. It's in the crab. Mercury's in the crab, so it's all about home life, family, heart stuff, emotions. Maybe not something Mercury is very in tune with, but it is now. And so it's trining the North Node and sextiling the South Node. Um, so there's a lot of healing energy here. Our thought, our mind is preoccupied with healing deeply, with feeling good, with feeling nourished, feeling at home, feeling in the heart. So that's how we receive our information during this time, just so you know. And of course, this ties into the summer solstice because it's also in the crab. So our mind is right aligned with all of this. So wonderful energy, right? And I hope you understood that this is something to truly use. I also pulled some tarot cards that I want to share. I pulled the Six of Cups, which is about, you know, harmony in relationships. It's potentially nostalgia and things coming from the past. Very crab energy. Okay, I mean, I would almost say this is a crab card. So but it's also, you know, joy, innocent, childlike, um, and that's what we're really working with the summer solstice energy. You know, creativity, use your inner child energy, and nostalgia can be a very negative thing. You know, being pulled to old ways. I wouldn't use it in that way, but if you're making you feel good, certain things reminding you of, you know, good emotions, then go right for it. But I would say be more aligned with your inner child and the needs that you have. I also put the Five of Wands, you know, upside down, and that's good because this is battle and this is not. The fight is over. This feels so good. The fight is over. Let the sun shine in your life. Allow the good feelings to arrive. It's time to change our behavior. That is necessary. And confront. Don't use the crab passive aggressiveness. Be, you know, honest and be open emotionally. Don't be afraid. Don't, you know, don't go back into the shell. And this is none of the negative aspects of the crab, which could be more isolation or loneliness. None of that is at play, okay? The tarot cards indicate that as well, the next one as well. So yeah, the battle is over. You can confront now with openness and vulnerability and the trust you have in the divine, which allows you to be so open. Nothing's going to hurt you anymore, okay? So it's because we have empowered and healed through the gunk, and it's time we bring in the gifts and the abundance and the blessings that this summer solstice promises us, okay? Make sure you use that opportunity. Now there's also Three of Pentacles, which is cooperation, very results oriented, entrepreneurial, just like that Mars and you know, the square between Jupiter and Saturn, I would say, is also very entrepreneurial. So go get it. Go get it, man. Go get it, girl. And this is about using your talents, gifts, you know, using your creational power. I mean, the sun, the highest creational energy, right? Next to the divine source. But the Three of Pentacles does it in a practical way with harmony with others, you know, working together, cooperating, and, you know, that the working together and cooperating in some form is also here, right? It's not through fighting anymore. It's not through difficulty anymore. It's harmonics. And the Pentacles is is an earth sign energy. So the moon is in Taurus, remember? Um, this is the crab energy, and yeah, to me it's very crab energy, and that's where the sun and Jupiter is. So this is a wonderful auspicious time. I wish you a wonderful summer time. I wish you a wonderful summer solstice. Make sure you use it. Make sure you use this fruitful creational energy. I love you. Thank you for watching, and support me in whatever way you can. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.